There we go. We're good to go. All right, you guys, what do we have? Client needs coming soon, just listed, open house help, showing help. What do you got?
Oh, this is not gonna be a quiet group this morning. People online, start us off, please.
Beth, are you here? You got a listing coming in.
There's a lot of you out there. Beth, you on there?
I am. I have a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage, twin home. Formerly sold by our very own Shannon Janko. It's on the market again after only a year. It's a great little opportunity for someone at $235,000, going live on Thursday.
That was Beth Jackson with Vaz. Who else? What do we got? Oh, Andrew, right?
I got a 2-2 in Midway, 1 level, listed at 2 1/4. It'll be live next Friday.
All right. Nice. That was Andrew Beck. Oh, Chad, big bad Chad.
So Adam Wither and I have a really ugly 6-unit in Minneapolis.
Love really ugly.
If anyone wants value add, make a ton of money on it.
So like a child could buy, a kid could buy it and use it as a rental property, make some money.
Yeah, but
Nice.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
What's it gonna be priced at? And where is it in Minneapolis?
Minneapolis is kind of small.
It'll be south of 600.
Nice. Who else? I know we're out there. There are a lot of people.
I have
online.
I've got a private opportunity. North End St. Paul, 2-bed, 2-bath, 2.5-car garage on a double lot, 275, lots of 2s.
All right, that was John Oneman, OCT.
Yeah, it's going to be private for about 3 weeks. If anyone's interested, let me know.
Awesome. Anybody need open house help? Anybody have buyer needs? Come on.
Are all the buyers finding properties now? Is that what's
Yes.
happening here? No one's having any struggles? Okay.
Carrie,
No struggles at all.
Yes, Beth.
Very smooth.
we have open house opportunities. I know there's a list of people that Nina sent it out to, but if anybody else is interested, there are tons of opportunities for open houses up at that North Branch listing if anybody's interested. It's wide open.
All right, so reach out to the Vaz team, please, if you are, Vaz Harwood team, if you are looking for that.
What's the North Branch listing? The price, size?
Beth? You still there?
It's the one I just talked about, the twin home, 3-bed, 2-bath, 235.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. All right, anybody else? Once.
I've got a buyer, this is Sandrina. I've got a buyer that's looking, he works in Lakeville, so anywhere within a half-hour drive of that. He's looking for a little bit of a fixer-upper, kind of like a handyman special, under 300. So he's pretty flexible, is open to suggestions. So if you have anything, let me know.
All right, thank you, Andrina. Also with the Vaz Harwood team.
All right. Anybody else?
All right, we're gonna move along.
Oh, we got
Where's-
Miss Raina with
Where-
Cross Country Mortgage. Now I have to try and figure out.
Partner time.
Partner time. I was furiously writing an email. Okay, what is the interest rate on rent?
100%.
Oh, 100%. I made a Facebook post yesterday because I was talking to a coworker and he got somebody pre-approved on Sunday who worked for a major local bank. He's closed right away because they were notified that next month, September 1st, so not even barely a 30-day notice, their rent was going up 90%.
That's
nuts.
Do they just want them to move out or? what the
Yes.
heck? Yeah, so AOL, super unfair, but I'm a landlord as well. So I think that people do need to rent for whatever life circumstances come at them. So, you know, for your investor clients, also a good time to buy, but having those conversations on what is your rent? How much is your rent going up? Can you afford it? And having a plan is now the right time to buy. So we kind of see rates going like this. I'm hearing some crazy conversations. So you know, just kind of sparking those conversations. If I'm waiting for my oil to be changed, things like that, people will say, oh, how come you can always come in the middle of the day? What do you do for work? Well, I'm working as I'm standing there, you know, answering all their questions usually, but I say, well, I'm in mortgage lending. You know, I help people get their loans for their new houses. Oh, that's super cool. What's happening with the market with rates being like 7.5%? I'm like, oh, no. We are not at 7.5%. So good thing you asked. So just continuing to have those meaningful conversations, because there's nothing new and cool coming out in lending. There's no cool products, no cool, you know, 100% DTI stuff that we can report. So really just kind of, I think I probably say this every time, but just sticking to my basic conversations on just educating the general people. I can never buy a house. Well, why do you think that? Maybe not today, but maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year. Let's just have a conversation. What does that look like for you? How much do you need? What kind of a house do you want to buy? Oh, you want to be in Hugo? Well, what about Forest Lake? What about Wyoming? You know, what about a little bit further out where maybe there, you know, might be different houses that could fit your price point. So main thing that I want to talk about today is rates are not 7.5%. They're more like mid to low 5s in a lot of scenarios. In fact, yesterday I quoted a first-time home buyer on a Home Possible program, 3% down conventional at 5.25. That's a fantastic rate, I feel like. I'm sure there's places where you can get a lot lower as well, you know, your online loans.com or something. But, you know, as a local presence, I feel like we're super competitive. And then, you know, just kind of talking to anybody and everybody so they're not looking at the news and being like, oh, 7.5%, inflation's high, rates are going up. What, you know, let's all freak out. Let's not.
Always doom and gloom.
Yeah, let's not, because there's a lot of really good things happening in the market. For a while there, everybody that was making an offer was getting their offers accepted for like the last couple of weeks. Now this last weekend, I had like 7 offers go out and nobody got them. It was like, uh-oh, now what? But, you know, I think a lot of people are kind of over that, oh my gosh, freak out moment, and now just kind of getting back into looking and being more particular of what they're making offers on as well. But if you want to even just role play, like how do I talk to somebody about when they say, I can't buy right now? I'd love to have that conversation. My team hates it when I call somebody out and say, let's talk about what if you have this objection. I just love it. So stop by my
great
office.
I like that.
Yesterday, 30-year 5.22.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you did a 3 or 5 year arm, what was it?
I'm not, and maybe other lenders are seeing a big difference, but I'm not seeing a huge difference in arms. There's a little difference, and it depends on the day and it depends on the pricing. Last week or the week before, I was locking 5-year arms at like 4.5, but that was like with 1.5 points. But also 1.5 points on a $300,000 loan, it's kind of worth it, depending on how long they're going to be in the property, things like that. So we talked through that. Don't be afraid of those arm loans whatsoever.
I really like sharing a lot of your stuff just because that's the news that no one else except for us sees. They just see the paper and the news reporting interest rates went up. They don't know what that means. It's not mortgage rates necessarily. And they only see that, like you said, there's like, oh, it's at 7.5 now, it's at 8, it's gonna be at 12. And they don't see the flip side, like actually it went down the other week. Like telling people are like, it went what? It went down.
I
Yeah,
know.
mortgage rates actually did this.
So usually the day before the Fed meeting, my phone is going crazy. I hear they're gonna raise rates tomorrow. Let's lock. I'm like, wait a second, the market's trending downwards.
Yeah.
And you know, we follow the stock market. We don't follow that Fed prime rate necessarily. There is some correlation, but it's not all rates are going up. Yeah, maybe for your boat loan.
The belief, the belief was when the Fed started talking about raising rates at the beginning of the year, that the last bump that we got was really where they baked in the issue, and that you notice this time now, the rates actually came down. So it's gonna be interesting to see in the next 2 meetings the Fed has, if they just continue to raise the prime lending rate.
I agree. So kind of where we're at right now is where at the beginning of 2022, we expected to be at the end of 22. So roughly, I mean, we thought high 4s-ish, maybe 5. So we kind of did a huge spike and then a little bit, mid-year downward. But still, I think it's all about conversations and, just educating your neighbor, your mechanic, your oil change guy. It's fun to have, and the look on their faces, oh, what?
Well, they should be hearing it from us before they hear it on the news,
Yep.
or at least in addition to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not doing something we should be doing.
Because if
Yeah.
it's too delayed,
Yeah.
then they're already in that mindset.
They're already-
And they don't necessarily believe you, whereas if
Yeah.
the Fed rate comes out and you're immediately sending information to them saying, here's what the Fed said today, but same way like your stuff says it says like, here's what happened,
Yeah.
except here's what actually happened to mortgage rates. And
Right,
just immediately be there with good new information. They're right through it, and then they tell that to other people.
exactly. So you're sticking to your basics, you're calling your database, you're sending emails, Facebook posts, all the things. But then what about the people that aren't in your database? Like just the people you come across every day. I was on a run the other night with my dog and my neighbor was like running after me. It's like, I want to buy land, but the rates are really high, right? I'm like, well, I can't help you buy land and no rates aren't high. I'll come back on my way back, okay? Yes. So, I mean, I think it's a fun conversation just because I feel like I'm providing value to somebody else. Who then hopefully, when they hear it, will provide value to that next person too. And then hopefully they'll give them my name and we'll come all back full circle. That's what I have for today. Any
Thank
questions? Yeah. Make my life easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. We have a couple special guests and I'm so sorry to them because we were running a little behind, but we have a couple different people on here. It looks like Jordan and Jason and Perry Hurd going to be talking over an overview of kind of sports and entertainment. So I will let them kind of introduce themselves. I know you guys might have to hop off, but just let us know how much time you got and we're here to listen. Yeah, I'm gonna stop my sharing too. So you guys should be able to share if you need to. Can you hear me?
Hey, everybody. So this is Jordan. Harry, are you able to stay on this call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I have to actually, I only have like 5 more minutes, so I'm not
It's
going to
all
be able to stay on this call, but I think, Perry, why don't I just let you take it? Because you as the RA of this region and Minnesota, everything that that you represent, and you and I being friends for years, doing a couple referral deals, more than a couple referral deals, I think, in the area. You're probably going to be a really good advocate for what we're building with this community. So I have my screen shared here. As of now, I'm pretty sure we don't have any representation at all in the market center here.
No.
So understanding that this community is built for an opportunity for agents to come together, to mastermind, to build their businesses, to brands. Perry, you can speak all that in addition to obviously the referral opportunities, which is a big deal. So I'll let you kind of get into it. I'm going to put on the screen here. It is an application process, so just getting the boring stuff out of the way. If anyone's interested, there's a QR code. It's joinkwfc.com. There's a barrier of entry of 50K GCI over the last year. By the way, I'm the director of this community. I'm based there in Washington, D.C., just for anybody that doesn't know me. My name is Jordan Stewart. So, so Perry, why don't you take it away? And
Yeah.
I'm going to put this on the screen while we wait, because this is my favorite slide. This is all the wins that people have been posting within our group. And these are all Keller Williams agents over the last 6 months that have said, this is a real value add to my business. And maybe not having relationships in the sports and entertainment world, right, Perry? There's different pieces to this and a lot of different layers. So
Yeah, thank you, Jordan. Thanks for the opportunity. I know your time is very valuable.
You'll see Jason Ross on the screen as well. As long as these two guys, and you see Pearl as well, as long as these guys are here, you know, a lot of you guys at the KW Roseville office, I know, I see Carrie, I see Andy Noble, Chad Hare, a lot of familiar faces. I will tell you, in my 20 years in real estate and in my time with Keller Williams since 2006, I've worked with a lot of folks across the country. And I will tell you, Jordan and Jason and their team are two of the best, most professional, well-networked, smartest guys, and I'm not just saying that because they're here, that I have ever worked with within the Keller Williams space. And that's, you know, me being a team leader previously 13 years. So if nothing else, the opportunity to work with these guys at a high level, the KWSE opportunity is a huge one for us in the Twin Cities area. I think if I had to guess, we probably have 15 to 20 members across the metro. I don't believe we do have any in Roseville. You guys are right in the heart of it, as far as proximity, you know, to Minneapolis and St. Paul. Whether it's the networking with the other agents, I think over the course of my time with this group, just the networking alone has resulted in several transactions that, you know, a couple, you know, that have been sports and entertainment related, and several that have not been sports and entertainment related. So the networking's been huge. The community that we're building, I know you guys have an awesome market center there with a ton of training. The training that we offer, we as in Jason and Jordan and the team, on a national level, the speakers that they're bringing in have been phenomenal to our business and just the learning opportunities that we've had. So I'm here as a resource. I'm right here in the Twin Cities. I've taught in your market center before, and you know, I swing in from time to time with meetings. We are here as a resource. If you want to get involved, please don't hesitate to reach out. I assure you, you know, KWSC is like anything. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. You guys know that. You guys show up, you do the work, you network, and you learn from others. I guarantee you that this group will have a positive impact on your business. And without question, in my time with Keller Williams, this has been one of the most fun things I've been a part of. And I truly am grateful for the opportunity.
Nice.
Hey, Perry. Oh, Jordan, are you still on?
I'm going to stay on because I actually think that this is a very important market center for us.
You had the deck. You had the deck too, right? Because I can't. Do
Yeah,
the deck
I have it.
forever.
I have it on the screen shared. So Perry,
Okay,
awesome.
okay.
I'm going to actually have Pearl deal with the next commitment that I was going to have, so I can stay on for a little bit. But Jason Ross is our he's my right-hand man partner. And we've been together, Jason, what, about 6 years now? So Perry, I appreciate the kind words. As Jason and I have built this out as a partnership. This started when Gary and Jason Abrams and Mark King decided to look at some specializations within real estate. And Perry's right, we do have a lot of fun with this. I had a lot of fun when my hometown Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl in your city in 2017. So I think they beat the Vikings that season. Sorry, guys.
We forgot about that.
But I was there in Minneapolis. I sat in the NFL Man of the Year suite for that game next to JJ Watt, which was pretty surreal, and got to party with the team after the game. So there's access that comes with these types of experiences and relationships. And essentially, as Jason, if you want to talk about those types of opportunities, basically this is a lead gen. At its core, this is a lead gen type of group. So we're basically connected with business managers, financial advisors, attorneys, sports agents, talent agents, players themselves, athletes themselves, entertainers themselves. So from a lead gen perspective, it's all coming through the central vacuum, and it's getting dispersed out with agents that are really enthusiastic about getting these types of opportunities to work with these types of clients. And fact of the matter is, Perry, right? They're high net worth clients. You know, they're players that play for the Timberwolves. Like this is actual high net worth opportunities to not just connect with them, but also potentially do some business. So Jason, if you want to introduce yourself, I know you can't really see the deck here, but I have some of our speakers on deck with Dave Sethi and Aton, things
Sure.
like that, what we do aside from just the lead gen and kind of having fun. So
Yeah, I'll just kind of go through the benefits, and I apologize. First of all, thank you guys so much. And you guys are lucky to have Perry as your regional ambassador. I've known Perry for quite a while now, and probably one of the best people, best humans that I know. So I was happy to see him on here. Let me just run through kind of, the ancillaries that you get in being a member of KWSC. So every day, like Jordan said, we're lead genning. I mean, we're about to launch this really cool initiative that we've built that's getting players associations and teams and schools and colleges to filter their athletes through us for learning. But that learning is, I want to learn how to purchase a house in my area. So we've got these crazy opportunities that we're building. But as a member, you also get, we have a member portal. In that member portal, there's tons of marketing material, which you have access to on your phone, it's almost like an app on your computer. You can download print material, you can download social media content that you can post. You get the designation of being a sports entertainment agent with us. Every single month, we have masterminds from Jordan and I on specific ways and scripts and things that you can do. We have guest speakers. Like he said, we had the head of Instagram Sports last month. We have Dark Child, who's a huge music producer that's going to be on this coming month. We had the head of global communications for Adidas a month ago, 2 months before that. We have other masterminds that are just about learning like search engine optimization or land and development, like, how to work with sports, how to navigate relationships with player managers and agents and things like that. We do events. We've had some really awesome events. DC, Nashville, family reunion. We have Austin mega agent camp coming up this month. And then next month, we have a big September 16th and 19th in Las Vegas. And the things that we do at our events are what you would expect at sports entertainment. We do masterminds, but we do masterminds at Geodis Park, which is the soccer stadium in Nashville. And then we have performers and we have guest speakers like John Walsh we had back in February. So we do a lot of really fun stuff. And at those events, there's a ton of networking connections. So essentially what we do is help you turn your business from a local business to a national or international business, because now you're making really clean referral partners within the group. And there's leads and opportunities put in the group daily by myself, by Jordan, by our team, and then by all the other members. So it's an opportunity for you to build your marketing, an opportunity to network with other people, to learn from industry experts, and get and pass referrals along.
yeah, and it starts it's not just the pro level like these guys have both mentioned. We're working at every level. So right there, University of Minnesota, we have a player named Logan Cooley. So Logan Cooley's from Pittsburgh. He's just drafted 3rd overall by the Arizona Coyotes. He's going to University of Minnesota next season. He's going to play with a guy named Brock Faber, who just got traded to the Minnesota Wild from the LA Kings in a big trade. Brock Faber is also a client of ours. So we start our relationships very out of the box with athletes that are 18, 19, 20 years old, and mentor them and their families with potentially building a real estate portfolio. Again, high net worth individuals. So if you want to break into these types of spaces, because you're not only meeting the athletes and the parents, you're meeting their, guess who, agent and financial advisor, who, guess who, have 60 other clients that need to buy homes. So to me, the reason why this is a really good community is you have these adult field trips, and we're going to Nashville, we're going to Vegas, we're going to DC, we're listening to John Walsh from America's Most Wanted and shaking his hand and taking pictures with him. Is, by the way, a $30,000 appearance fee, right, Jason? But he's coming to us as a favor to one of the relationships in the group, which is a sphere of influence of 1,000 people all over the country. So this is an ancillary to your business. We don't want to disrupt the local business of how you sell homes and how you make money and represent your clients the best of your abilities locally. But what this does do is it puts you on a national platform within Keller Williams culture, that we have these types of opportunities, we have these types of relationships, we have these types of connections. And when you do build some business out of it and make some authentic relationships, which is the goal, it essentially makes you a better real estate agent when it comes down to it. So that's my spiel. I'm probably going to jump off, guys, because I'm going to, we just are scratching the surface with what we're doing here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and probably jump off. If you want to apply, we'd love to have coverage in this market center, because our goal is, when we talk to our financial advisors, Perry, we say we have coverage in every single market center within Keller Williams. So if we don't have coverage there, we're not telling the truth, and that's not a good thing. So join kwc.com. Perry's right there as a local resource. We are not giving Perry all the referrals, as he'll tell you. So don't just assume that Perry's our guy and we're just handing him all the real estate referrals. And Perry is such a team player. It's collaboration, not competition in this group. So everybody's collaborating together. We're creating events that are localized, where everybody benefits from it. And when there's business being brought in, it's not just sourced from Jason and myself. It's sourced from 1,000 different people within this group who are keeping these types of referrals in-house within this community that extends way beyond just a Facebook group. So this is, if you're interested, please apply. If you don't have the GCI yet, we have a space where you can talk about why you're enthusiastic about this, and we'll consider everybody that's wants to be part of it. We care about coming from contribution, and if you can give contribution to the group more than just ask what's in it for me, that's always going to be a win. So thank you for your time from me. So Perry, I'll turn it back over to you. I'm going to stop my share. Jason, you're
I'm gonna jump too.
still jumping in. So yeah, cool. And thank you everybody for being part of this. Take care.
Thanks, Jordan. Good job. So,
Thank you.
I know you guys have a jam-packed meeting as you always do, but just, I put my name, my number and my email in the chat. If you guys have questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am local. I'm happy to be a resource in any way I can. And yeah, I mean, again, these guys are just pouring into us at a very high level, and the opportunity is here. If you want to be a part of it, we would love for folks to raise their hand and say, yep, I would love to be a part of the local Twin Cities KWSD group.
Yeah, we'd love that too. And I'm gonna jump off too, because we actually just have another market center with to talk to, but just want to say, yeah, you guys have enough. That's a thriving cities that you have a lot of opportunity in. I mean, a lot of people that don't have as many teams and entertainment outlets as that even you guys have, still have people that move from there, a family from there, and they're it's some of the places we send referrals to is crazy. It's crazy. And we need to make sure we have coverage, because Jordan and I every single day speak to wealth advisors and managers and everything. So we're what our goal is to meet the people that have a bunch of people, and then fan those out to everybody. But also a lot of the people in the group, like Jordan said, have a lot of connections, and we'll help them figure out how to work those connections. And we also deliver marketing materials that will help you. So if you met a manager, there's already a presentation within the member portal, already custom made, that you can throw your picture, your contact information on. If you met a wealth advisor that had 10 players or entertainers or whatever, and honestly, even if they weren't sports entertainment, you could still run this and show them this is the key pillars of how we make it successful and how we keep it discreet and confidential for your clients. So join kwsc.com if you're interested. It's only the second of the month. We're looking at applications right now, and you can join right away if you're accepted, and get part of the party. And Perry is your regional ambassador, so you're very lucky, because he's a good dude. So
thanks, buddy.
Thank you guys. Yes, thank you all for having us on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, KW Roseville. I'll stick around for a little bit. If you have questions, reach out, and back to you, Carrie and Andy.
Thank you, Perry.
Thanks, Perry.
Yeah, guys, we will make sure that anyone who's got interest in this, again, they're not lying when they say, Perry's an awesome guy. He is an amazing person. If you're just looking for more information, definitely reach out to Jordan and I. We can get you information. We can get you connected with Perry. I've got it up here on here. Those of you that are online see it in the chat, but it's the www.joinkwsc.com. I agree with them. I would love to get at least 1 or 2 people in this market center, but somebody in here, and be that connection and working with the sports and entertainment with Perry. He's phenomenal. So I think she'll find.
Thought I saw that too.
She'll have to-
Perry, is Meg Highland in our office? Is she on your platform?
Yeah, good question. Meg was a part of the group. I'm not sure if she still is. And here's what I'll tell you, the group isn't for everyone. And I think that's a fair thing to say. What you get out of this group is what you put into it. So if you just join and not attend any of the trainings, not engage in networking, and just kind of hang out and do nothing, honestly, nothing's going to happen. So the cool part about the group is you can use KWSC as a leverage point to build your business. My 15-year-old son and I last week had dinner with Tanner Morgan and his agent. If you don't know Tanner, he's the starting quarterback, winningest quarterback of the Golden Gophers. And if it wasn't for KWSC, that opportunity wouldn't have came up. So again, it's just an opportunity to use a platform to build your business. And it's never going to be a huge, main source of business. I'll probably do 40 real estate transactions this year, and maybe 3 to 6 will be KWSC related. So this isn't a primary source of business. It's on top of the business you're already building.
So I have to ask Perry, then this is more personal, on that, when your 15-year-old son got pulled up on stage and got that helmet, was that part of your sports and entertainment?
That's hilarious. No, that was completely random.
That was awesome.
And an amazing lifelong memory for us Kenny Chesney fans. So
It was awesome. He got pulled up on stage. It was great.
yeah, check out my Instagram video on that one if you want a tearjerker video. Yeah, cool experience.
I love
Awesome.
it.
Well, thank you very much, Perry. We appreciate it. And
Thank you.
yeah, let Jordan and I know. We will get you guys in contact with Perry, or again, do the join and we can help get you more information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, Perry. Good to see you. All right. Who's that guy? Hot stuff.
Okay, so tomorrow, I know this is kind of short notice. My Maps coach Susan Joyner is going to be joining us at 11 o'clock to 11:30. This is via Zoom only. Everyone here is invited. This is going to be a conversation of how to thrive from now to the end of the year. What are you doing? Are you doing things any differently as you move into the shift? If you are, great, attend. If you're not, attend and learn some new thoughts, tips, techniques. She'll be asking some provocative questions that help you guys think through what am I doing to prepare for that and how am I going to finish the year strong. So an email will be going out to the whole market center with an Eventbrite. Anyone who's interested, please register so we have a head count. And that's tomorrow, 11 to 11:30 via Zoom.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you. You can join her.
That's right.
I
That's
wanted to
right.
say it 'cause that's her last name.
Susan Joyner.
Nobody thought my joke was funny. and I tried so hard. I tried so hard. Okay, guys. Well, what day is today? Tuesday? We
Tuesday.
have a couple of days left. First of all, we're hoping to get everybody in here on Friday for graduation from Ignite. But we want to thank all of our amazing instructors. I know we still have a couple days left, but if you've had an opportunity to come in, whether you've been in the classes or you've just kind of come through as they're doing it, Ignite has been awesome. We've had some really good full classes. We've done it in person. I think Fridays was the only day that had the Zoom option. Yeah, we've still had some people here in person on Fridays, but thank you to everybody. Thank you to the participants. Thank you to the coaches, the presenters. It has been amazing. Even for especially those who have had to fill in a little bit last second. We love it. So thank you very much. But we just want to say thank you to everybody. So we want you to join us, whether you're in Ignite, whether you present at Ignite, or whether you're an agent at the Market Center. We would still just love you to join us at what time on?
It is gonna be 11 to 2 is the class time, but we'll probably start graduation around 12:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 12:30, please join us for graduation. It's going to be amazing. So we wanna- Pardon me?
What day?
Oh,
Friday.
Friday, the 5th. Friday the 5th. All right, this was, you guys, thank you. Who got to see these posts on Facebook? This was awesome. This was our agents getting out in the community. This was part of the ARIA.
I think Martha was at like the
fruit and produce.
Columbia
Yeah, so-
celebration.
Exactly. She was at the Columbia celebration. So I love seeing our agents together. We just put it out there and said, who wants to do it? So it wasn't, a team, or it was just people who grabbed it, went out, did it. Great turnout, and, obviously we appreciate you guys being out there, and it's great for you and your business and the community. So thank you very much.
Woo-hoo. August
Birthdays.
birthdays. There's not as many this month as there
No.
usually is,
It's
so.
only the cool people
I was
in
gonna
August.
say, oh, really?
Whoa.
All right, happy birthday, everyone. It looks like we have a couple coming up this week
Oh, we
even.
do.
Maybe even one on Saturday
Yeah, some
for
who
Miss
celebrate
Carrie.
all month.
Shane and Jason were born a day apart.
Right? How funny is that?
Wow.
Isn't that cute?
2 years.
Isn't that so
That's
cute?
amazing.
I love it.
I have two brothers.
Shane's older, he'll be 50 here on Sunday, and
Ooh,
Jason's
ooh,
48.
50.
My older brother
I
and
love it.
sister.
He'll be
Day apart.
They
both look like Hollywood movie stars.
So
cute.
I love it. Well, happy birthday, everyone that's celebrating in August
So
this
cute.
month.
So who's the little photo down there? I couldn't see that one.
I think that's Jason. Yeah, Jason Hopkins.
Is it?
Our
Okay,
thing's
that's-
just blocking it.
Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
Oh.
I was like, I don't see. Oh, this next one, you guys.
Do you want me to click
Okay.
on the?
Yes, first we're gonna click on the little thing. Let's hope I did it right. Or my friend.
Can you guys online hear it? I know sometimes they used to mess up with the audio. So share sound, that's what we wanted.
Yep.
Boom. All right, back.
You guys ready? Let's go.
All right.
Gary's
Who
so cool.
was at Mega Camp last year at the kind of new, but not quite new building yet? Woo, I love those hands. Who's gonna be, because it's gonna be even better, who's gonna be at Mega Camp this year at the really new building, totally already all done, ready to go building? Which we like all those hands. But guys, this is gonna be awesome. Yes, we are not technically occupying the space, but we are gonna use it, and this time there will actually be clean bathrooms, there will be carpet on the floor versus tacks and like glue and all that.
Spiders.
I'm so excited. So make sure you join us August 23rd, 24th. If you're not going to be there in person, which I know we've got a group of people that are going there as well. But join us. There's going to be some information coming out for you to sign up. We'll be having an awesome lunch again, spill my new carpet. You're gonna have to move out. We'll all be eating in the kitchen. But yes, so we really want to make sure you guys, Mega Camp is an amazing opportunity. For those of you that can't go in person, please join us. We'll get that probably starting today. We'll get some information out on it to sign up, to be there, to join us. I'm gonna kind of try and keep moving because I don't want to, I know we got a lot of stuff still going on here. We got a big one coming up. All right, there it is. All right, Lynn, are you on?
I am.
Okay, first thing we're gonna do, we don't need to do that one.
Do we want the
I
video?
was gonna say, this isn't what I sent you, but it's fine. We can go with it.
Click on, we're gonna click on the sample of residential form changes. It should take us, there we go. So Lynn, if you will scroll down, you'll see a yellow part. We're gonna have Lynn talk on what document and what the changes are for 2022.
Hold on, I gotta bring it up on my screen because like I can't see this good.
Here, what if I zoom in?
No, that's all right. I got it all here. All right, first off, did everyone get the handout?
Yes.
Okay. So there was a kind of blue and white handout that I sent to the office that really outlined what the changes are. Here we go. Not as many changes this year as there have been in years past. biggest couple of things that you're gonna find is there's a new form. And I'm gonna jump around just a little and then we'll find them on the forms because you got 69 pages there to scroll through. There's a new form for when you have 15 sellers or buyers and they all need to sign. There's a new addendum where you can put multiple signatures. A couple of you will chuckle because we've had it come up this year where it's unbelievable the number of signatures that have had to be squished in.
I was wondering if you like accidentally said that number or.
No, it was pretty, it was a pretty accurate number.
Okay.
Sorry. Then another big change is on the buyer rep agreement. How last year they took out the shall and shall not reduce compensation of the sellers paying. This year they added it back in. So we all got kind of used to not having to talk that one through, and we will now have to say if the seller's compensation shall or shall not reduce the amount that the buyer may owe. So that is back. Sellers disclosures, we've had a lot of insurance claims in the last year. And now instead of specifying if it's homeowner's insurance, you're just simply changing it to any insurance claim. I'll be honest, I can't think of a good example of what other claim there'd be on a home, but obviously there must be something. I may be thinking home office type things if someone's got business insurance. So now it's just simply insurance in general. Doggy fences were kind of made an invisible fence, is now an in-ground pet containment system. Why not make it? Yeah, they had to add the water, the well, on the well addendum, they had to add the word water because we have so many oil wells in Minnesota. So now we are only discussing water wells. The biggest change that's actually on everything, and let's see if we can find it on this one. Carrie, can you scroll down on the purchase agreement till you get to yellow?
Yep, that's where you were. You were just there, Jordan. You wanna go back?
No, or,
Yep,
oh, there's,
right
okay.
there.
Yeah, I was,
Was there one above it?
Yeah, that's the little dash right there.
Scroll down,
48.
Oh, line 48.
down. That's okay, right there. This is the part. This is changed on the new construction, the single family, and I believe commercial. If a buyer has opted to do the financing where they're going to give a written statement where their lender's committed to a date to provide the written statement and they do not provide it. It was always that cancellation could be signed with a refund to the buyer. Now it's the refund to the seller or buyer, and you're going to indicate that when you write the offer. So if your lender can't perform, your buyer might be losing their earnest money. Let that soak in a minute.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes,
I'm just trying to think about this over the past couple of weeks, and
it comes up a lot.
maybe I'm just coming from, I don't know, maybe I'm just not wrapping my head around it. If you offer the written statement and then you check forfeited, what does the written statement even accomplish at that point? You know, like,
Well,
you know what I mean? Like the earnest money is kind of hard even, well, I don't know. It just seems like it.
Okay, so the written statement, let's say
it
I've got a
almost-
closing right now where the written statement was due 2 weeks before closing. If the lender does not provide that written statement, my seller can now send over cancellation without having to wait 2 weeks until closing.
Okay, understood.
That would be a real good example.
Yeah.
Don't want to pay for the movers, don't want to load everything up until you know it's going to close.
So it's just about the distribution of the earnest money if a cancellation is
Correct.
sent over.
So it's still up to the buyer or to the seller. If they don't receive that letter or they receive it late, the seller does not automatically get handed the earnest money and cancel. They could decide to just simply give the buyer, maybe they just need till Friday for that last pay stub to be showing. you know, communicate with everyone. My God, people, communication is huge. But communicate and try to make sure that expectations are set accordingly. If your lender says they need 30 days to get it clear to close, don't write it for 20 because you're setting your buyer up to lose. Personally, I'd pad a couple days because nothing ever goes as smooth as planned. But your sellers are going to want to see the money forfeited to them. You know they are. And the buyers are going to want to see it refunded to buyer with no change to how we're used to. So be prepared to talk this form. Best practices for new forms is they went into effect yesterday. Do not use the old purchase agreement anymore. You write an offer, it needs to be on the new form.
Now, this one is a new construction, but clearly it's identical to the PA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and scroll down. You'll find that they did this exact same language in all of them.
Okay.
What's the title? What's the title? Is it 2022 or is it?
Yeah, there's parentheses at the
Well-
end of the document.
Oh,
It
yeah.
says the date.
It says like.
See right here,
revised RAB,
Chad,
yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
See where it says
And
8.
Lynn, you said this is commercial too?
You know, that's what my notes here say.
I say that's where everything read that I
Yeah.
said, residential / commercial.
On the back of this paper, it does say commercial.
If you use templates, all the old any documents that redone and pulled out of your template automatically.
Yep, and then this discriminatory restrictive covenants. This was just simply to bring people's attention to the fact that if there are any. It's always been that it needed to be disclosed. They just really want to bring your attention to it. Can we get to just the single family? Jordan?
So if we go back to our
Do I
meeting.
want to go back to?
Nope,
me?
just keep going. You're just
Oh, is it
way,
down there?
yeah, you're just,
I see.
Keep
you gotta
going?
scroll fast.
Okay.
Oh, okay, now, we're getting there now. What's
Are we?
this?
Did you just-
Purchase
This is
agreement,
va-
vacant land.
This is vacant land, same changes.
Keep going.
Yep, keep going.
Vacant land, vacant land.
There you go. That's the PA.
Yep, here we go.
Okay.
Do we
All
want to
right,
go?
scroll through the yellow real slow.
So there's.
All right. They eliminated, if you're using bond money, Minnesota housing, first time home buyers assistance. That is no longer a question. They felt that was discriminatory against buyers who financially were very capable but were using those programs.
I always wondered about that.
I know, I agree.
So your seller no longer, this is no longer going to be information that's provided to them. Okay, keep going.
You should see my panic, Lynn. I'm like, ah!
Here's exactly the same language and it's regarding that written statement from your lender. We've got some agents that are licensed in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I think, has a better grasp on this, and that is the lender cannot send that letter without their client's written permission. Minnesota, all of your really good admins are really good at hounding those lenders to get that letter. But you better make sure your buyer really wanted it sent out, because once it's sent out, their earnest money is hard.
We just put a step in our process to kind of make sure the buyer is informed and we got their permission to send it. We
Yep,
really-
and everyone really should. You just, you can't guess all the different scenarios that come up. Okay, keep scrolling. I think I'm looking for page 11 next.
Okay. I don't even know what page we're on.
7.
Oh.
Oh, hold on, go back. Here's just simply that there might be covenants. These are unenforceable. These are the ones you hear about in Minneapolis where they say people of certain color can't live in this neighborhood type thing. They're making you aware that they might exist, but they're unenforceable.
Yep.
All right, keep going. Right there, page 11.
Mm.
This is the addendum for additional signatures. If you only have 2, maybe 3 people signing, just do it like you've always done it. But we literally have had a couple now where we have had 15 and I want to say 18 different parties where it's been someone's estate and they had 10 kids and every kid's got a spouse and one spouse died and now their kids inherit. It's kind of crazy. Use the form if you're in that position. If not, don't. And then the well thing. Okay, they simply added the word water. I think we all assumed it was a water well. Okay. All right. The move-in agreement, they have changed the insurance requirement. So if you do a rent back or a move-in agreement, it used to say that the person living in the home had to maintain 300,000 in liability. Now it just simply says they have to maintain liability insurance. It does not state a dollar amount. Okay, so remember, if you've got someone moving into a property, they need renter's policy. Just simply added the word water.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay. On the Minnesota buyer rep form, they added the word Minnesota. They want to make sure people are not using this form for border hoppers that are like going between Minnesota and Wisconsin. If you're working with Wisconsin clients, you have to have a Wisconsin representation form. You're working in Minnesota, you have to have the Minnesota one. If they're hopping borders, you probably have both, and you're going to put one set in the left-hand side of your opportunity when you figure out where they're buying. So they just added the word Minnesota. Here's where it's telling you, this is exactly how it was worded. They brought it back, that whatever the seller's paying shall or shall not reduce the obligation that the buyer owes. So we can work on some role playing on that. If anyone needs, that might be a good thing for the coaches because the newer agents have never seen this. If you put that your commission is 2.7 and the payout is only 2.5, the contract says that your client owes you the additional 0.2. A lot of us do not collect that difference. We just simply accept what the MLS payout is. Some agents do collect that difference. Either way, what the seller's paying shall or shall not be reduced by the amount the seller's paying. So it has to be a little bit the spin that you practice in your own personal business.
So I think it's better this way. It's better that this is, because this is easier to explain to both the buyer, to the buyer.
I think so too.
Yeah.
In that instance, then you would say shall not, so you can still collect the remainder.
No, you say shall. If you say shall not, then you're collecting your 2.7 from the buyer and you're collecting whatever the seller's paying.
It's only reduced by what they actually pay.
So
I got you, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
all right,
Lynn,
yes.
I have I saw some buyer representation that some people put not 2.5 or 2 point, whatever the MLS, they put MLS. Is that
Yep.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, it's okay unless MLS is paying out $1. Then that's up to you and how your business structure is going to be.
Okay.
In the last month, you know, people always wonder on the opportunity why we want a copy of the MLS and a copy of the tax records. And the last month, we have had someone who printed out a copy of the MLS with the printout, with the payout. And when they got to closing, the MLS magically had changed to a much lower amount. And that's what that brokerage wanted to pay out. We were able to collect the originally advertised payout because that's what the printout had. If you don't put that printout in the opportunity and you don't save it, there's no way to do it. And that's like the first, I've heard of that, but that was like the first time I've seen it. That was pretty crooked pool. The tax records. All of a sudden you got people that did forbearances and you're gonna have people that have maybe lost the house but aren't short because they got lots of equity. So I reviewed one file where I discovered that it was bank owned, but it was not a short sale and it was still a person selling. So I asked the agent to verify the payoff, that they probably had about 10,000 in legal expenses because the bank had already foreclosed. And they barely squeaked out with what the offer was. So talk to your people. You know, did you do a forbearance when you know, did you get sick? Did you skip any house payments? Did you do a modification? My son was in the ICU with COVID. He missed 4 or 5 months of work. He did a forbearance. We went to sell his house now. That was 1.5 years ago. The bank still wasn't caught up with the paperwork. So we had to order his payoff twice now because it didn't reflect the forbearance. So didn't mean to get sidetracked there, but if you ever have questions on why we ask for something, ask. All right, keep going. All right, hold on. The same thing, they just added the word Minnesota. I think you're gonna find the rest of the changes really consistent. They just made it to all the different forms. And they're pretty basic this year. Here's where they're asking about the homeowners and if there's any racial type restrictions. I would assume most people are not even aware if there are. And remember, a disclosure is simply to the seller's best knowledge. It's not because you did homework and found out the answer for them. If you see, please read your client's disclosures. If you see something that's blatantly wrong, have them correct it. I get a kick out of the ones that say they have no well, but they have a well disclosure. Obviously, there's a well. You know, you're representing your clients to reduce their liabilities. So try to talk through the disclosures. Don't ever answer it for them. If they're adamant they don't have a well, then they don't have a well. But if they need a well disclosure, they probably have one. All right, keep going.
The big
Oh, is this one?
Yeah, this is where they simply changed the insurance. Instead of saying homeowners insurance, it's just simply insurance claims. And they're no longer asking for any kind of receipts or proof that things were repaired. They just want to know if they were repaired, regardless if they had an insurance claim. I don't think they ever asked for receipts, but if you decided not to make the claim, did you still do the repairs? Sometimes people, their deductibles more than the, you know, it's not worth claiming.
Oh yeah,
That's your
there.
in-ground cut containment system. You know, if you can scroll up just a second, Jordan.
Oh yeah.
On this form, no, scroll up, top of the page.
Top of the page.
On this form right there, NA, working order, yes and no. If you've got that, I can't tell you how many people maybe don't know what NA is. It's non-applicable.
Yeah.
So if you say the drain tile is not working, you could have a buyer that thinks, well, wonderful, I have drain tile, I'll fix it when I move in. And really, it's not there. It was non-applicable. Please make sure your clients understand what that acronym is for non-applicable. It does not exist. You don't have a swimming pool, it doesn't exist. It doesn't not work. It's not there. The drain tile one, I've had a complaint on. They couldn't see under the steps, too much stuff. They assumed it was there. It said it didn't work. They were going to have it cleaned out and fixed, and it did not exist. That's not the calls we want. Keep going. You can go pretty fast, Jordan. Because I think we've covered it all. This is the lightest, very easy forms change that we've had. Okay, if it's sealed and not in use, it's still there. We're talking about a well again. If it's a well, it's always a well. A well is a well. Not in use is not a valid answer, really. It could be the truth, but then the buyer has to acknowledge that they are taking that on, because cities will charge on the property taxes for an abandoned well. All right. I think. What was this one? Go up slightly. I gotta see what form this
Hey,
is.
Lynn, I got a quick question. You said cities will charge that on the tax records. Does that mean cities will seal it and then charge you for it, or they will just?
No, they penalize you and the penalizing can go up each month. There's also, I know one city that doesn't let you get a building permit. So if your furnace goes out, you gotta seal your well.
Got it, yep. That's fair.
They're doing whatever they can to force you to get that well sealed. And it's not as often anymore. I mean, for a while there was a lot, but usually sealing records have been filed.
Yeah.
If it's been sealed old ago, maybe not. Very rural, maybe not. So sometimes things actually have to be drilled out and resealed to get it done right.
And I just
And it's because grandpa throwing an old sock down and filling it with cement did not count.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to throw something out because I'm dealing with my first transaction where the listing had an unsealed well. And I had heard from many people that it was required to be sealed. And we ended up talking to the state authority, and it's not necessarily required to be sealed.
It has to be working, or it's not.
Well, even if it's not working, you can have a permit. like a
Oh, that
maintenance
allows
permit.
it to be
Yeah.
unsealed. Okay.
So I just want to point it out there. It's not just the rule that it has to be sealed.
And a buyer can assume it in any condition. Just make sure they know what they're assuming.
Right.
Minnesota Department of Health tracks all that stuff. I believe last time I talked to them, they started tracking that back in 1975. So if it's older than that, they're not gonna have the records on file, just as an FYI.
All right. Keep going.
Keep going.
Anything on that facilitator agreement?
No, this is the same stuff we've had.
Oh,
It's that it's Minnesota, that it's
Okay.
That's a
shall or shall not. This is pretty consistent. That's for a tenant. If you're working with renters, same thing. They just made the changes consistent. We also updated our affiliated business arrangement form so that it's got movement mortgage on there now. I won't call that out on file review for probably a couple months, but please remember anything dated after August 1st needs to be on the new form. When you're in Instanet, the KWIR folder, that's where you get the listing contracts, the buyer rep contracts, your facilitator contracts. There's a line in there already for the Office 499. You don't have to be writing that in on your own. Use those forms, the ones that are specific for the office, please use them. All right, any other questions, quick?
I do have a question, Lynn, because I just closed, I'm concerned about this one with the buyer representation. I think it's very difficult for us to know how much the compensation is gonna be because we have to make the buyers to sign this form as soon as we start showing homes, right? And then we sign the compensation disclosure and we show, and they sign how much are we getting for that. So I signed the buyer representation with 2.7 and I'm getting 2.5 and they signed the compensation disclosure. So I don't see why there is that 2.2% that is left.
Well, it's up to you and your personal business model if you're going to collect it. I think a lot of you know on my buyer rep contracts, I literally handwrite in on the back page that I'll accept the MLS payout as payment in full.
Yep.
You don't have to do that. But I work a little bit more rural and we see a lot of 2.2s and 2.5s. I just got a 3.0. That was fun. So it goes both ways.
On our listings, is there anything you want us to do with buyer's agents from another brokerage? Use the old forms down the, because I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Should we bring it up or should we just let it go?
It's a best practice thing because remember in Minnesota, you can write a purchase agreement on a napkin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a best practice thing. You have every right to say my client would like to see this on the current forms.
Okay. Okay.
I will call it out. Occasionally I get disclosures from like a 2017 type form.
Clean it happen.
And I will call that out on file review that I want the current form. If they missed it by 1 year, I probably don't call it out, but it's just not a best practice. You're making quite a bit of money on these commissions to protect your clients and liability for them and yourself. Use the new forms.
You could put it in the agent notes for the month of August, say like, remember,
It's a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
remind the agents when they're submitting stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure to send updated forms.
So get the correct affiliateds in there. If you got people that aren't under contract yet, I'm gonna have my clients, when I meet them for showings, I'm gonna just say, hey, this form was updated. Can I get your signature? Not a problem with that. Something that came up that Martha asked me to bring up is that when you're adding a buyer or a seller to a transaction, remember, it's more than just the amendment to add them. They really need to sign off on the disclosures, and they need to indicate if they're accepting or declining arbitration. Because if everyone before them accepted arbitration and all of a sudden your new buyer or your new seller doesn't address it, in essence, they've declined and they've literally changed the terms of the PA. All parties, including agents, have to sign arbitration for arbitration to be in effect. So that's why I ask, if I look at the file and someone already declined, I'm not going to call it out. But if everyone else accepted, I'm probably going to call it out because you've changed the terms. So make sure if you add a buyer or seller, they sign all the agency docs. Doesn't matter if they're on the mortgage or not. If you're adding them to the deed, you're adding them as a client.
Yep.
So get everything on there, get all your signatures, disclosures. It's just protecting you and your clients that they sign the disclosures. Is it going to close without it? Yeah. Can you go backwards and be fraudulent and disclose after the fact? No. But just protect it, just to protect you. And then I have a favor to ask. All of a sudden, inflow and infiltration inspections are popping up in little areas that I would never expect. So if you run into one that you go, hey, this is new, will you please send me an email? I just missed one on one of my own sales. Because, yeah, little Rush City suddenly has one. And so unless we're working together on that, it's easy to not know what every little city's doing.
Sorry, what was that about? I missed the first part.
Inflow infiltration inspections.
Okay.
They used to be like non-existent. Now the list I have is Mounds View, West St. Paul, St. Anthony, Golden Valley, which also needs a sump pump certificate, Howard Lake, Orono, Duluth, Newport, and Rush City. So these are kind of outside the metro.
And they're all requiring that inspection to be done.
They're requiring an inflow infiltration inspection, and they're all different on if it has to be done every time the house sells or if it's good for a number of years. There is no consistency.
Mounds View actually has somebody in-house that reviews
So-
all of the videos.
Yeah.
I-
You have to get a video and then somebody in the city requires it.
I think what we're gonna do, guys, Lynn, if you don't mind, I'd like to have Lynn on next week and kind of continue on our compliance. I know we've got another meeting that was supposed to start. So Lynn, are
Yep,
you?
I'm outta here.
Can we, okay, so next week we're gonna have Lynn again and really kind of dig into, actually, she's got some really good compliance stuff that I want to go over. So make sure you're here next week because she's got some specific examples that I think you'll find very beneficial. Investment people, stick around, stay, come on, we're gonna go into that investment with Chad and Adam. Stay here, we all grab and stand and whatever. You guys staying online?
Yeah, I would check.
I like it. Stay there, don't
Wait.
I would love to stay with Nora. I would-
So if that's the case, guys, we'll send you guys and use the same link. If we disconnect you, use the same link in a minute to jump into the one. They might, oh wait, Adam's coming in here. Do you have your laptop with you? Okay, so guys, we're gonna probably disconnect the Zoom. They can still stay on though, can't they? Because we're gonna restart it.
I don't know what Chad's plan is.
Because I think most of our,
Were we doing a Zoom for this? I didn't know that.
I think we're gonna, because these are all people that want to be on it.
Oh, they
So,
were?
I think we're gonna need to, yeah. Today.
So I'm,
But, so guys, log back into that link in about 3 minutes. We're gonna use the same team meeting link for the, what do you call it? For the investment one. So,
Martha, Alex, GJ, Janet, if you want to join in on the investment Zoom, we'll just
Give
do
us
it
like
on
2 minutes.
yeah, just join back in 2 minutes.